So I heard about this rabbi who was in an airplane, and he was reading from a Tanakh, a Bible. And there was a man sitting next to him, keeps looking at the rabbi, and the man said, "Come on, please don't tell me that you believe everything that is in that book." The rabbi looked at the man and says, "Of course I do. It's the Bible." I said, "Oh, come on, but what about that man that was swallowed by a whale?" The rabbi said, "You mean Jonah?" "Yeah, I believe in that too." And the man said, "Come on. How is it possible that a man will be able to survive for all that time inside a whale?" The rabbi thinks for a minute and said, "I don't know, but whenever I make it to heaven, I will ask Jonah personally." The other man said, "Well, what if Jonah is not in heaven?" The rabbi said, "Well, in that case, you'll have to ask him." So, I want to talk to you today about who told you that? Who told you that? The thing is, I always like to reflect on the topic of the power of the words. Words are such an amazing tool, but as every tool and everything that we have in this world, we can use it for goodness and you can use it for evil. It's like many powerful things that we have, and we all know that. All the way from electricity to atomic energy and so many other things that we can use it for something positive, or it can be used for something negative to create destruction. And words are not an exception. We all know that proper words at the right time can uplift you. The wrong words can create all the opposite. And it's interesting because we have to be very careful of that. We have to find ways of protecting ourselves from destructive words. There are many people around us, and at least that's my experience. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure you have the same experience in your life. There are lots of people around us that they seem to have a talent to let us know everything that we cannot do or everything that is wrong in our lives. They have this talent to bring us down by pointing out things that to their opinion is wrong, and because of that, we won't be able to achieve certain things. And it's so negative that sometimes we take those words as valid advice. We believe those lies, and eventually we forget or we discontinue our plans, our projects, our dreams because of something that somebody else said. And the thing is, and I hope you can learn this, or I hope you know it, that not every opinion has the same value. Not every opinion, not every word said to you will have the same value. So we have to be very careful to who we listen. Because if you listen to the wrong people for long enough, then you are going to start believing those lies as well. And there is something that is going to be not so good for our lives. So now, let me tell you what's going on in this parsha. And then I believe it is connected with this concept of being careful of who is around us. This parsha, as Rabbi Anibal explained before, is talking about this condition that is called tzara'at. Sometimes it's translated as leprosy, but we don't really know what it is, because how is it possible that it could affect the skin, but also, for example, walls or clothes? So the rabbis agree that it's something else, that it looks like leprosy, but it's not necessarily leprosy. But it's very interesting that that affliction on the skin, on the clothes, or on the walls is called nega. Nega translates as affliction. But it's something very interesting of this affliction, this nega, that happens on the walls of a house. Because it says that whenever you find this nega in your walls, then you have to go to the Kohen, to the priest. The priest will come as an expert, and he will tell you, yes, it is, or no, it is not. And this is something very interesting, because I'm pretty sure that back in the day, whenever somebody will develop this kind of nega, either in the skin or in the walls, will be lots of people that said, you're doomed. You know what? I've seen other people having the same thing, and it didn't end well for them. Yeah, you will always find these negative people around as soon as there is a nega around your life, an affliction around your life. But that's why the Torah says, don't listen to them. Go to the Kohen. The Kohen is somebody that, at least in theory, at least on paper, is someone who is connected to God, and he will find the right way to come to you, to approach you, to talk to you, and to encourage you in this difficult time. But this is an interesting thing, because it says that whenever, this is Rashi explaining, whenever the Kohen notices a nega on a wall, he will tell you that unfortunately that section, or sometimes the entire house, will have to be demolished. And Rashi said that every time that a house was demolished because of this nega on the walls, the homeowners found a treasure behind the walls. I don't know if you can see what is written between lines here in these verses of the Torah, and how from this affliction came out a treasure because they went to talk to the right person. Can you see that? It says only because they went to talk to the Kohen said, you have to bring that house down, and because of that, now they found a treasure. And the rabbis got even further, and they noticed that the word nega, affliction, if you change the order of the letter, now you have oneg, that means pleasure. So how interesting it is to learn that whenever you have a nega, an affliction, if you rely on the right people, that nega could become an oneg. That difficulty could become an opportunity. And I believe that's life. We all develop a nega, an affliction, sooner or later. But our ability to make it to the other side depends on the people that we invite to be close to us. Do we invite people that they bring the right words to us, people who uplift us, people who are positive, people who are trying to always point out the best of us? Or we let ourselves to be surrounded by negative people, people that they always find everything wrong in our lives, people that they're always bringing us down? Well, this parsha is an invitation to remember how important it is to find the right people to help us on situations where we develop a nega, an affliction. And I remember since the pandemic started, I started to take this little project by myself to try to learn more about audio, video, streaming, you name it. And I found this kind of guru on YouTube that one day I was listening to his classes because he's an amazing teacher, and he went kind of off topic, very weird. That he's very technical, and he started to talk about his personal life, how he became this famous YouTuber with thousands and thousands of subscribers, and said that he was working for IBM as an IT guy, and one day he was laid off, and now he didn't know what to do. He was kind of desperate, trying to find something else to do, and he has this idea to open a YouTube channel. Most of the people around him, they laugh at him and told him that he was crazy. They said, what do you know about YouTube? And the guy said, well, I don't know much now, but I think I can learn. And I believe that I'm a very good teacher. Well, lots of negative people came to his life, but he decided, instead of listening to those people, to rely on his family and a couple of close friends that encouraged him to follow his dream. And boy, they were right. Right now, he is this amazing teacher who is teaching other people how to incorporate new technologies during these difficult times. You see, sometimes that person could be us, where we have to face a challenge. And at that time, we only hope that we could find the right people that it will encourage us to bring the best of us so we can transform that nega in an oneg, that difficulty in an opportunity. If you ask this guy now, what do you think about the nega, the affliction that he had a couple of years ago, he will tell you, which affliction? Because he realized that sometimes something that started as an affliction could become a treasure. So I believe the Torah is bringing these uplifting messages week after week, but I believe this specific one is something that is very current, because in one way or another, we're all going through challenges in this time. Challenges that sometimes seems to be endless. We cannot see an end outside. How can we make it to the other side? Well, let's listen to the words of the Torah. Everything starts with surrounding us with the right people. So they will bring the right words to our life. And with those encouraging words, we can go from nega to oneg, and from oneg to treasure. Shabbat Shalom.